what you're in for, Steve.
Good morning, everyone. It's 1 o'clock on May 24th, 2025. And this is Winter Camp Chats number, I don't know. I think we're close to 30.
We've lost count.
I've got them numbered in YouTube. But so Roger, you want to say anything on the road to Illinois?
Well, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. We have 7 participants at this point, and I am going to yes, we are en route to Illinois for a high school graduation. So we got off the main road, and so now we're on a side road going in the direction of choice, which is okay because we missed the toll road, so we won't have to pay a toll. So is anybody willing to offer up a prayer for us this afternoon, to get us started?
Wonder where our usual prayers are.
I don't know. I hadn't heard from Art, and I hadn't heard from David either. So we'll need a pinch hitter.
This Rosemary, I'll do it.
Okay, Rosemary.
Dear Lord, please bless this gathering of those of us who are winter campers, and we ask safe travel for Roger and Dorothy as they go to their graduation. And we ask that you guide us in everything that we do on our call today, and that people will have a good time, enjoy each other, and respect each other. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you. Well, who do we have with us today? Looks like
You have Howard Holloway.
Howard. Okay.
Wait, that's
From
the one I
afternoon,
labeled
everybody.
Jamie.
From Belleville. From Belleville.
Yes.
I about
Great
said
city,
Ann
Belleville,
Arbor.
Michigan.
Belleville, Michigan. All right.
Stephen Crouch from Flushing, Michigan.
Flushing. All right.
Janie Muirhead, Detroit, Michigan.
Janie Muirhead. I see Angela. Angie. Is that Angie Harris?
That's me.
Oh, that's Howard. Okay. Angie
Yeah, I'm
is
in
Howard.
drag today.
There you go.
Jim Phelan.
And of course, Rosemary Facilla, Muskegon, Michigan.
Who's 9476?
269 209 9476. Just joined us.
Muriel
Walters.
Excellent.
Hi, Muriel. And I see Jim Phelan. I don't know if he identified himself or not, but we can see you, Jim.
I did.
All right, we got a nice mix.
You can see Art went up to his cabin, so and I'm supposed to have some family showing up there. I was told.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. Great. Well, so what kind of big plans does everybody have for this weekend?
Stephen, I'll start.
And relaxing.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Coming up here, I am practicing for this big race. It's called the Crim. I'm not sure if a few of you guys are familiar with the Crim Festival of races that is taking place in Flint. But yeah, it always has. But I am training for the 5-mile walk. But yeah, I'm doing that on Tuesdays, right behind like a pub there in Flint. So yeah.
That sounds like fun. Now, what is it? What did you call it? A festival, Crim Festival?
Yeah, it's called the Crim. Yeah, Flint puts on a race every year in August. This year it's going to be August 23rd. It's called the Crim Festival of Races. And then because we do have a training group, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the National Federation of the Blind of Michigan's Flint, Genesee chapter, but we do have a Crim group with that. So yeah, we go and we go out, and some of them practice to do the 3-mile race. And then some of us practice for the 5 mile one. And this is my 3rd year of doing it too. So yeah.
Nice.
Right. So you're practicing this weekend.
Yeah, a little bit, but by coming up here on the weekdays on Tuesdays. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But on the weekend here, I'm just chilling around the house.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
Everybody's kind of shy today.
Howard, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh, once again, I'm maxing, relaxing, nothing too much planned, just kind of bumming around the house and enjoying a little bit of good weather.
Okay. Jim Phelan, what's your jam this weekend?
Continue on I-65 south.
Well, not much other than I gotta go up to my brother's house tomorrow and take care of his 5 cats. Well, like 2 of them are there. 2 of the one daughters, one's the other daughters, because they went out east to celebrate their grandson's 5th birthday this
Oh,
next week.
that's important. So where'd your brother live?
He lives in Leslie.
Leslie. Okay.
It's not that
Oh,
far away.
that's just up the road on 127, right?
Yep.
There's
But,
there's a tractor repair place up there. It's kind of like a tractor junkyard that I've visited a couple of times.
right there at Bellevue and 127.
Right. Yep. Right there. So I know that
Oh, yeah.
place. Still there. Anybody hear the beep? Anybody hear the beeping going on?
Very faintly.
Okay, that's our lane.
I'm not noticing it, but yeah.
That's our lane warning that we've veered out of our lane. So
Beep beep beep. Oh yep.
it sounds like at least it's not bothering people. So good.
No.
So
Why are you out of your lane?
I'm not driving.
Stay in
I
your
did.
lane, more like it.
Mine
So-
if I have it on shakes the
That's the
steering
car.
wheel.
That's the car. That's the car saying, "Stay in your lane."
I'd be turning that off.
I don't think
You
you can,
can't.
because I know when we
I don't
were
think you
at
can.
Guide
I
Dogs.
I don't think
can.
you can with
It's
these
like a
modern
permanent
systems.
No, you can set it to non-audible, so it'll just
Huh.
blink a light on the dash,
Oh,
or you can disable altogether, at least in most manufacturers.
When
Huh.
we had our guide dog bus, it would do that when we would change lanes and all that, and they couldn't turn it off. So
If you use your turn signal, it doesn't give you the warning. Uh-huh.
And I
So-
did not use my turn signal. That was the problem, Kathy. You caught me.
So who else plans for the weekend? Kathy, what are you doing?
Why?
Working? You're not working, are you?
I have to work this afternoon because I got 2 rainouts this week.
Oh,
So being a gardener in a rainy week, great for the plants, not so good for the gardener.
right.
So I have one senior client who has her backyard has tiers to it, and the big mowing companies can't get their big mowers in there. So she has a push mower and I mow her lawn. So
Okay.
that should have been Wednesday, but we had rain Tuesday and Monday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever, we had at least a couple days of rain this week. So it didn't rain yesterday, so it should be half dry today.
Good.
And I put in the
let's
notes
see.
there.
Now, Janie,
Well,
what?
not too much. Ain't too much. I don't have too much nothing going on today. But tomorrow I'm gonna get up and go to church. Then let's see. Monday I might go over to my daughter's house because she's supposed to barbecue.
I was gonna say, anybody going
Memorial
to a
Day.
cookout?
Not really.
That's what Memorial Day today is for cookouts and now
True.
what about so when I was growing up, Memorial Day was always the day we went out to the cemeteries and put flowers on the graves of our relatives.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Anybody do that as when you're growing up or currently even?
I think my daughter might be go. She might go do it, but I haven't went nowhere to do anything now.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know where my grandparents are buried.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
So what
Wait.
other
so
topics
Somebody
do
has
people
it.
want to talk about?
so
Anything
I was
else?
gonna, I was gonna let you know what I was doing other than going to a graduation ceremony.
Oh, I thought that
Uh,
was all of it.
what's that?
I
Well,
thought that
anyway,
was all of it.
no, there's more. Um, so so this morning, Battle Creek has a national cemetery out at Fort Custer, and so one of our Lions Club members passed away this year, and he's buried out there. And so there's an activity that they do every year at Fort Custer, and that's placing flags on the gravestones of of those who are buried out there. So we went out. We've done this several years now, but so we went out with the fellow's widow and helped her. Well, actually, they weren't married, but her partner, his partner, and so we put flags on his grave, and then she had some flowers, and then we did about maybe 40 other flags that we planted. But the other big thing that's been going on in my neighborhood is we had a tornado go through last
Oh boy.
Thursday,
Oh yeah.
and you might have heard on the news about it.
Yep.
We had two confirmed tornadoes in Battle Creek, and
Yep.
Oh wow.
and one of them was less than an eighth of a mile from my house,
Oh wait.
Oh.
and so it was. I was supposed to go to I did go to the state convention, but I didn't go until Friday evening because I couldn't get out of my my street until like late afternoon after they'd cut like a bunch of trees down or cut up a bunch of trees that had fallen across the road. It was crazy.
Did you lose power?
We lost power. Yeah. I mean,
That's
actually,
why Dorothy didn't go to the state convention. She had to feed the generator.
we
Oh
we
wow.
had we actually got it back Sunday morning, but the guy that was supposed to watch our animals, number one, you couldn't use the road to get into my house. You had to go around a back way, go through a public right of way, a power line to get to my house, and then he was going to have to put gas in the generator, and he didn't want to do any of that.
Mm-mm.
So Dorothy got to stay home. That was sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was fortunately nobody was hurt in this tornado, but there was a ton of damage. Big trees, like ripped out of the ground.
Oh wow.
100-year old white pines just snapped off like twigs. Big oak trees. It's crazy, and I couldn't believe we had one little tree that came down in our backyard.
Well, that's fortunate.
So yeah, we didn't even go downstairs. I mean, we were watching TV while it was coming, and actually probably while it hit, and then the power went out, and we're like, oh, okay, this is not good. But so anyway, so we're helping. So once we get back from this, and after church tomorrow, we'll be helping our neighbors cut up the trees in their yard, which there's like 4 or 5 of them, big trees. So we're doing a lot of yard. We're going to be doing a lot of yard cleanup this weekend.
Well,
Anyway,
I hope you take care of yourself.
right.
Safety,
We'll try.
safety.
We'll try. Yep. My little chainsaw will get a workout. So
Buy her a drink, get her some oil.
Yep.
looks like we had somebody else join. No, maybe not. Janie. Well, anyway, summer camp
Oh,
is
Muriel
coming.
Walters. Muriel hasn't told us what
Yes.
she's doing this weekend.
Oh, I'm going to the National Cemetery tomorrow. They have a program at 2:00.
we heard about that this morning from Callie Martin.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Day of Remembrance, right? Yeah, I don't think we've
Yes.
been to. Well, that's good. That's good.
They have speakers, music, and things like that.
Oh, cool.
And food?
No.
I don't think they have food.
Just checking to see if it was a full festival.
That's coffee on Monday morning outside
Okay.
on a
Hey,
picnic
Rosemary,
table.
we can still hear your TV.
And TV.
There's chatter going on in the
Hold on.
background as if it sounds like TV.
It does.
Yeah.
So summer camp.
Is that better, Kathy?
Yes. What was it?
It was my radio.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, as Roger was saying about the tornado, because we were in Bay City at the hotel, and we'd all gone to bed, and all of a sudden, all of our phones went off. Wee, wee, wee! Tornado warning! Tornado warning! Scared us half to death. We had to get up and flip the TV on, find out what was going on, and then the hotel shut down all the elevators so that nobody would get caught in the elevator if the power went out. And
Oh.
it was interesting. We heard about what happened with Roger there too. So, but yeah, it was an interesting night.
Yeah.
Right. A night to remember. A night to remember. That's for sure.
Well, apparently we lost power here in Muskegon as well because I'd contacted my dentist office on Friday because I needed to change the time of an appointment. Then they didn't get back to me until Monday morning and apologized because they said, we didn't have power, so the office was closed. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. So not doing much here, just church on Sunday and nothing else over the weekend. Our family used to do barbecues, on Memorial Day, at our house. We'd have, some relatives, but that was in the days when we had family. All my family is gone now, so I don't have anybody to do anything with like that.
Yeah, my family never did anything for Memorial Day. And in high school, I worked at the local drive-in A&W. And the boss was planning on having it open on Memorial Day, but so many people were asking for the day off to go to family picnics and stuff. He says, fine, we're closed on Monday. Guess he was hoping to make some money. It kind of got overruled.
There's Art.
Hey, Art.
Art's muted. Art's muted still, but that's okay. Summer camp is coming in August.
Yes, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August.
8, 9, and 10.
Should be
And
Friday, Saturday, and
registration?
Sunday.
Okay.
I know that Danae is working on, sending, getting all the applications together, and I believe those will be sent out in the next couple of weeks. We usually try to send them out beginning of June, or at least by mid-June. And I know we're not going to require any COVID, things this year because Pioneer Resources doesn't require it this year either, so we could drop that. And as far as the number of campers, we're not putting a limit on that this year. And it's, we may end up having to, depending on how many people we get for volunteers. But at this point, we're not planning on putting a limit this year.
Nice. Now the limitation is more where the cabins are located, right? And
part of it is the way the cabins are located, and part of it is how many volunteers we can have to maybe stay in the cabins or in the upper part of the campgrounds,
Right. Okay.
Because we need to have volunteers who would be willing to stay up there if people are totally, impaired, because even though the paths are paved, it's easy to get lost up there.
Right.
Rosemary, we sent you an
Yes.
email to come under A Holloway 3231, asking about the applications.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that I've gotten an email from you, Howard, but
It'll
if you
come
want
on.
to,
It'll come under A as an apple. Then my
yeah,
last name.
I know what. Yeah, I would If you send it to my Comcast email, I should get it. If you
Okay.
send it to my Gmail email, maybe.
It was sent to Gmail.
Okay, then I might not have recognized that one, so send it to my Comcast. Same beginning, just Comcast.net.
Oh, okay.
That'd be easy, and then I could forward it to Danae, and she can make sure you get an application.
Oh, all right. Good. You're multi-talented. Thank you.
You're welcome. It'll be a fun time. We always hopefully if the weather holds and it doesn't rain all weekend like we had one time. But there's a lot of good activities. We do archery. We have the pontoon boat rides and the hike that our director Carl takes us on, and we have crafts up in the lodge that we do, and people can just do whatever they want to do pretty much. So
Okay. Oh, sounds like fun.
it will
It
be.
is.
So just to let you guys know, I sent the winter camp address list to Danae, the lady that does the applications. So all the new campers that came to winter camp this year should get on her list.
Right, because I saw that you did that, Roger, because
Yep.
you copied me on that. Yep.
She responded that she wondered because I had highlighted all the new campers in blue on my spreadsheet. So she wondered what the highlights meant. So
Right,
I
yeah,
told
I
her
saw that, yeah.
those were new campers, and so she was going to compare to her list that she already has. So I know
Right.
a lot of people are already on it, on her list, but I know these would be new folks, so I didn't want to, and
Right.
sometimes usually my addresses are more up to date
Right.
because not everybody moves, but some people move.
Correct. Yeah. And I know that we're still trying to work on having some transportation, because we don't have any buses or anything coming to Muskegon. Last year we were able to work with the Rockford Lions to pick people up in Grand Rapids and bring them. So we're hoping to be able to do that again if they're cooperative with us.
I had a call from Tyrone, and maybe Howard, you might have a little information on this, but Tyrone was looking to get in touch with Andrea Ordaway because he wanted to talk to her and see if she was interested in writing. I guess Tyrone's getting some transportation together.
Yes,
That-
my
Yeah,
understanding.
Tyrone talked to me about that, and Andrea called and talked to me about that too. So,
Okay, good.
Yeah, yes. My understanding, he said he had transportation covered for me and Sam. Sam from Westland. I don't know his last name.
Sam Rao.
Sam Brown.
Good young man.
Yeah, Sam Rao. Yes.
Yeah.
no, anyway, so we're hoping that, we can work that out. It's such a sad thing that they've cut out all the transportation to, our area. And even in our county, they've cut back, all of our transit as well. And in the city, they've cut back some of the transit as well. So it's been tough, and not a lot that we can do about it, but we work as best we can. And, unfortunately, and this is something that we're going to have to face at some point in time, probably, is if we can't get continued transportation and people can't get there, we may end up having to discontinue our camp. We'd hate to do that, but it may have to happen at some point. As long as we've got people who are cooperating and who are willing to come and can get transit and get there, we'll continue to run it. And there's not going to be any increase in our fees. Still going to be $35 a camper, and there's not going to be any increase in the craft fees of $2 per project. So just so people know, we're keeping that the same.
Great.
Wow, $35.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, we're
you can't do
fortunate
much for
because
35.
well, we're fortunate because we have a foundation here that supports our project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah,
Because we have the Muskegon Foundation that supports our Lions projects, and the summer camp is one of those.
Great.
Okay. Muskegon Foundation. All right.
Any other questions that people may have at this time, other than you, Angela?
Um,
Angela, we don't have an Angela. Angie became
Oh, that's
Holly.
right. Good. Angie's not here this time because she's bugging me about being up in the lodge and what we do is we do have a lodge. We have room for 5 people up there if they have a medical issue that they need to be closer to a restroom. Other than that, everybody else gets assigned cabins, and we do have, we have facilities that are near the cabins. So usually the men and women's cabins, the restroom facilities are right in between the two that we assign. But if people are going to be in the upper portion, it's a little more tricky. They do have bathhouse up in the upper portion, but people would have to be able to find. That's why we need volunteers to assist.
Mhm.
And then we do have like the cabin 1, I believe, is like right across from the lodge, so people could just cross over to the lodge to use the facilities at the lodge if they're in cabin 1. So
Nice.
So Rosemary, I know that you've said that this camp was developed or is kind of geared towards people with disabilities generally. Okay, so Sue Perry from Macomb Township, she's not on the call today, but she participates on these calls. She's up in wherever Macomb Township is. That's kind of north of Detroit. Anyway, she has been very interested in coming to one of these camps. And I know that summer camp, I encouraged her to think about summer camp because it's a little more, I think she's wheelchair bound.
yeah, and if she's a wheelchair user, then there would be no problem with her getting around, at the camp because it's all
Right.
paved, it's all paved trails. The only thing she would not be able to participate in is like going on the hike because that's all in
Right.
the wooded area and that would not be wheelchair accessible because there's logs across the path at times because I know Scuba has fun, guiding me over the logs and things. But it would have to be an able-bodied person to do the hikes. But as far as getting on the pontoon boat, she can, they have, the ramp part. She could just roll right up onto the ramp and onto the pontoon boat with her chair, no problems.
Well, I think she has some help. And I told her at the time that she probably would need, and I don't know if it's through, I think it's through PACE, which is like adult care partners or something. I can't remember the exact, but I know she's pretty involved in that.
Okay.
And so,
If she were to bring a helper,
I'll try to. Yeah, that's what she's thinking.
If she brings a helper, there's no charge for her. She would be considered a volunteer.
Yeah,
but she just would have to fill out an application and
Right.
indicate that she was a volunteer and she was what do they call them? Personal care person.
Yeah, plus
coming
a guide,
with her.
human guide or whatever.
Well, I think they call them personal care people, but whatever. Anyway, that
Personal
there would be
care,
no charge.
okay.
Yeah, there'd be no charge
Okay.
for her personal care person, just for her, just for the camper.
Right. I'm going to try to get a hold of her and talk to her about that.
Okay.
And see if
because everything there is accessible.
That may be the next challenge.
Yep, she might like that. So, but it would just her big challenge would be her getting to the camp. Because being in Montcalm, it's on the east
Right.
side.
Exactly.
Someone just joined us.
Personal care person's willing to drive her there. That's fine.
It is Bill Chapman.
Right.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Bill.
Hello. How you doing?
Hanging in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good to hear you, Bill.
Oh, all right. It's been a long time, so I just.
Excuse me, Bill. Any other more questions about summer camp, guys?
I think I'm good.
All right, so get in contact with her and just give her, mine and Jack's information, and we'll make sure she gets taken care of.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So, Bill, what have you been up to?
Oh man, hey, just trying to keep up with winter campers. I can't keep up with you guys. I got to slow down.
Yeah, right. You got so many pokers in the fire.
Yeah, well, it's all good.
We were talking earlier about what we're going to do for the weekend. Do you have any big plans?
Well,
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day, I've made 4 raised flower beds, and my neighbors are buying them from me. So, put their gardening stuff in. So I feel pretty good about that. That's been my little thing for the last couple of weeks. So.
Nice. Are you making them out of wood?
Yeah, I make them out of wood, and I buy them, I make them, I cut them, I put them together, and buy the bags of dirt, and I've sold 3 of them already, and I've also, I found another blind person in South Haven, and I donated a laptop, not a laptop, but an iPhone to him. I gave him an iPhone, so I'm trying to get him involved with our activities and stuff. So anyway, he's lost his sight 15 years ago, but he's not doing anything. Active. So I was telling him about winter camp and that type of thing. So hopefully he'll get involved.
Okay.
Maybe he wants to go to summer camp.
First of all, I just got to get, I'm talking him going from flip phone to iPhone. So one of those guys,
Oh, yeah.
One step at a time, bro.
Yeah, one step at a time is all you can do.
One step
Hey,
at
if you're
a
not
time.
texting, what's wrong with a flip phone?
Email AI, seeing AI, all of that. Come on, you can't do that on a flip phone.
Be my AI and
You can call people.
Well, you can go to the phone booth and put a dime in the booth, and maybe you can make
dime?
you don't probably
What do
know
you think?
about
This is
that.
the 90s?
It's probably $3 now.
If you can find a phone booth.
Yeah.
Let alone the germs are probably on them now.
Only Superman can find a phone booth.
They only exist in museums now.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
So if you didn't know, if you didn't figure out from what Bill was just saying, he is a woodworker, and he makes a lot of different things out of wood. Clocks. I think I remember you saying you made clocks, Bill. And
I made clocks, plaques, trophies. I just made a bat house for a couple of friends too. A bat house. They live out in the wooded area, and they got bat houses. I made a couple of those, and it's interesting, So hey, keep the old brain going,
Right.
You're not cutting off any fingers?
No, I got all 10 of my fingers, and that's great. Yeah, and so you got to think reverse. It's really funny.
Hey Bill, do you have a need? Hey Bill, do you have a need for a shopsmith? You know what a shopsmith is, right?
Is that
it's like one of the.
Well, you want to be his sweeper?
No, a shopsmith. No, a shopsmith is a tool. It's like 3 or 4 different woodworking tools in one machine.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Starts
those.
with a lathe and goes and reconfigures.
Yeah, I have a friend who has one. He's trying to get rid of it.
Well,
looks like it's a table saw and a lathe, and
yeah.
Oh, okay, table saw. Yeah, okay. Well, if Roger or something, give him my phone number, or I'll get your phone number. I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that because he's having a real hard time trying to get rid of it. So
yeah,
it'll
Facebook
probably
Marketplace.
Give him my number and have him give me a call. Okay.
I'll do that. I'll do that. He lives in Battle Creek, and so we're pretty close. It's not too far away. So anyway, good. That he'll be my friend forever if I can get rid of this for him. So
yes. As I recall, it's a lathe that tips up and becomes a drill press, and you can adapt it for apparently a table saw and 4 or 5 other functions.
Wow. Okay.
So, okay, good. Hey, so Art, how are you? How are things up north?
Well, we're not up north yet.
Oh,
We're heading up there on Thursday this week.
okay.
That we're still at home, going to be home for the weekend. So my little brother just completed his GED degree, and they got a celebration at the end of June, graduation for that. But his birthday is tomorrow, so we're taking him out for dinner and then going to the movie to the Mission Impossible last episode or whatever it's called. For his
Final
birthday.
reckoning. Final reckoning.
How
Right,
old's your
right.
brother?
He's 21 tomorrow.
Your brother?
I
Little
think
brother.
this is a big brothers, big
Little brother, big
sisters
sister.
kind of thing, right?
Oh, I'm like, dang. We were talking earlier about big families, and that's a big span.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That yeah, I was down to one last sister. I had two older sisters, and the oldest sister just died 2 weeks ago. Her funeral is going to be June 8th.
Oh, sorry to hear
And
that.
so I'm at this point now one of the last of my generation. I have a cousin that's still with us.
Wow.
But as far as family, that's the last of my direct family.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank goodness you're part of the Lions family, Art.
Right, true.
So when Howard was talking about a bad house, and so I'm going to switch to birds because I was out at the outdoor education center yesterday, and so Donna Posant, who many of you know, she held a birding by ear weekend out at the where we have winter camp.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen, did you go to that?
No, I did not go to that. Unfortunately, I didn't even think. I didn't even realize that took place yesterday.
Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
No, I didn't attend that one.
It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess they had about 15 people, and only one person got lost because Donna didn't really want a lot of help. So she said, "Yeah, these people will be fine." And so they found one guy walking out towards the entrance of the camp, and thought he was going in the right direction, but wasn't. So
would have figured it out, turned around.
Right. But I guess they had a lot of fun. So anyway, that was one of the reasons that Donna wanted to come to winter camp was to check out the camp itself, because she was going to have an event out there. So
it sounds like it went well.
Yeah, I think so. I think Matthew was a little overwhelmed.
Why?
Because I think he was, well, as I said, Donna is very much an advocate of independence for the blind.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically told him that they weren't going to need any help. So I don't think he really had any help lined up. And so anyway, I think he thought that maybe they could have used a little more help than what was indicated.
Were the attendees low vision?
Yeah, they're all blind or low vision.
And none of them brought a friend?
I don't know. That one kid, I guess his mom came. I don't know the full story, but he said he wished he'd had a few of the cadets on hand to help out. Anyway, I said, well, next year if they come back, then you should be able to get some cadets to help with that. So because they like to spend the night. It was a weekend.
They spend the night there?
Yeah.
A weekend.
Yeah, it was a weekend.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a weekend. So, but he said with only 15, it's a little easier than 55.
Right.
Plus volunteers, So, but he said it was kind of an experience. But he was glad to do it.
Nice.
Anyway,
Anybody else have anything to share?
Question for the general people. Does anybody have problem with equilibrium? Feeling a little dizzy from your eyesight, you think?
You might have an inner ear infection.
Hmm.
I mean,
I
is
was
this
just
something you've
curious.
had for a while or something that's new?
Something I had for a while. Still between my optometrist and my personal doctor, they're trying to figure things out why I feel so dizzy.
Have they
Well, a lot
scanned
of
your
them
head?
prescribe or
Not
Dramamine,
yet.
or like
You might want to get that.
Dramamine, or when they get their own boats and stuff like that, whatever they prescribe for dizziness or whatever, and that
Yeah, I
is
know what you're
common
talking about.
Vertigo.
for people that lose
Well,
their
I've
I
sight.
was
heard that
I was thinking that too. Yeah,
this,
vertigo.
You might
one
have
of the things that I
vertigo.
have heard about that is that there's crystals inside your ears, and if they get out of alignment, that can cause it. And so
Yeah, I heard
sometimes they
about
do
that.
Yep.
physical therapy
Yep.
to help with that. So that's something to check out.
Okay, thank you. We'll look into that.
There's another thing called Meniere's disease, and I'm not sure. I had a brother-in-law that had that, and Dorothy might know something about why that is or what causes that. Say, you can talk. You can talk.
The fluid in your ear it should be fluid, and so it moves and it balances. And as we get older, it tends to solidify, so it doesn't balance as well. And so if you do things slowly, it's actually worse. It's better to go from laying down to sitting up fast so that you don't worry about the changing.
Hmm. Sometimes it's the lighting of, that's how I thought might be my eyes, with the declining sight I have. It might
But
be
the best
the
thing to do
particular
is to
building I'm
see a
in.
doctor.
Oh, I've been seeing doctors. We're on first name basis.
Yeah.
But if you're not seeing an ENT person, that might be what you need to have a referral to the ears, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
seen, yeah, I seen that ears no doctor.
Jesse's here. At least he will be in a second. Hey, Jesse. You're muted.
Welcome.
better? Is that better?
Well, Howard, I hope your ear feels better soon.
Oh, well, thank you.
I know a lot of people were feeling like sinus issues like 6 weeks ago when the weather was kind of flip-flopping.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people were reporting migraine type issues.
Aren't you lucky
And
if that
so
was just a
you
couple
could
weeks
have
ago?
fluid from, some spring illness. Just a thought.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can figure it out and it doesn't get too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if you
Hi,
want
Jesse.
if you want to experience sinus issues due to weather changes, just come to Iowa.
We have plenty in Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan can hold his own.
I
Yeah.
mean, from 40 to 80 in a day and then back down.
And that's the norm.
Oh, it's been
And
crazy.
then it fluctuates up and down, up and down, up and down, and then you get rain and snow in the mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your weather can straighten out before I get out there in June. So your weather has a couple of weeks to get its act together.
Rosemary was just saying she
serious
hoped that
talking with
summer
Mother-
camp didn't
you gotta
experience
do-
rain as it has in the past.
You got to do some
What'd you-
serious talking with Mother Nature and Father Time. Maybe they can work something out.
Yeah.
Maybe Mother Nature and Father Time can stop arguing and get it all together.
Yeah, I hope they do something.
I know that's right. Wait.
So, Jesse, did I hear you're coming out in June?
Right. My oldest daughter and I are driving out. I want to say I think we leave either the night of the 5th or the night of the 6th to go tour the University of Iowa in Iowa City. And then we're headed to Rochester Hills to tour Oakland University.
Oh, okay.
So
you'll probably stop at Leader Dog while you're there, right?
yeah, we have a tour scheduled. She's never seen it. I was hoping to come through Jackson, but I have to be back sooner than I wanted to be for work, and she has to be back for work. So we'll be cutting our trip a little shorter than I maybe wanted to. So
I mean, it just depends on which highway you take. You could pass through Jackson,
yeah, we
have
could.
lunch with somebody, or find a Jackson area club that's doing a lunch meeting or a dinner meeting that fits your schedule.
Right. Yeah, we haven't ruled it out for sure. So, kind of just depends how all the visits go, and if she adds any other schools to her list on the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Now, she
When are
graduating
you gonna
this
be in
year?
Rochester?
she graduates next May,
Okay.
but she's got a year.
Do you know
When are
when
you
you're
gonna
going
be
to
in
be?
Rochester?
Do I know what?
When are you going to be in Michigan at Rochester?
It's what is it? It's the whoops, my calendar is being. My secretary hasn't done a very good job of keeping my calendar updated.
He
We're
says to his
leaving.
inner voice.
We're leaving the night of the 5th to go to Iowa City, and then we'll drive to Michigan. We'll probably do a partial. We'll probably drive to somewhere in Illinois on Friday, and then drive the rest of the way to Michigan Saturday. And then we'll do Bark and Brew Sunday, Oakland tour Monday, and then figure out how to find our way home on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think is maybe the plan. So I don't know. And I could be missing something. So we'll see what happens.
Nice flexible schedule. But so if
Yeah.
anybody wants to see you, they should show up for Bark and Brew.
Right. Bark and Brew is a for sure. I just don't have her talk
I'm
into
gonna
doing
be
the,
in Rochester. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Rochester the 1st through the 7th. It's just a tune-up, not for the leader dog, but I'm gonna just go for mobility tune-up, basically.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be there for 1 through. I've never been there before, so it's all set up and scheduled to go for a week, and I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
Wow.
Who's this speaking? I don't recognize who's.
Bill Chapman.
That's Bill
Oh, it's Bill.
Chapman.
Okay, I thought it was you, Bill, but it didn't quite. I haven't heard your voice in a while.
Yeah.
So you'll be
How
there
did you
that
set
week,
that
then?
up, Bill?
I just called and set it up. It was on my bucket list on something I wanted to do. It's been, 15 years since I had my training at the center, and a little tune-up won't hurt, so that's just something I want to do. So, right.
Yeah, all you do is apply.
All you got to do is apply, make a phone call, get your medical records sent to them, and they'll set up a schedule for you. And so I guess it's going to be 6 hours of mobility a day, every day. So for 7 days. I go,
They work you hard.
I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah.
Can't remember his name off
Let's
the top
have
of
to
my
think
head.
about that because because I've been using guide dogs for almost 50 years now, come November, and if this is going to be my last one, it'd be that many years since I had any kind of mobility training with the cane.
Wow.
So I'd probably need a tune-up because it's kind of interesting because as of like January, February this year, I've been blind for 50 years now. So
Wow.
it's interesting, when I look back and I go, wow.
Well, now
Yeah.
Well, I
who's
think
this?
it's good because a
That's
lot of us
Rosemary.
depend on technology, right? And I just want to start scratch without the iPhones, with all of that, that type of thing, and teach me what I need to, because I travel a lot. So,
Well, Bill, I'll caution you if you've never been to Leader Dog, you need to be real careful that you don't get too addicted to that fancy coffee machine they've got out there.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember his name? The president of the Rochester Club has a leader dog. He's right there in town. Jesse, maybe you've talked to him. Can't think of his name off the top of my head.
If you hadn't have said anything, I know who you're talking about, but I just can't. And I'm sure I know.
He was telling us about Bark and Brew and the long-term interaction with him.
You're not talking about William, are you?
You're not talking about William, are you?
Can't remember.
William Miller?
William's our president for Clear Lake.
In half a mile, turn left.
Yeah, William. Okay.
Okay, yeah, he's our president for Clear Lake.
Okay.
But he lives. I can stand it. I can stand at Leader Dog and spit and hit his apartment. He lives right across the street.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're gonna visit him while you're there?
Oh yeah, no, we'll meet up for sure.
What's his last name again?
Miller.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm bad with names.
I don't think you've met him, Kathy, other than on the phone. He was on our last chat.
I did meet him.
He was
Tour
at Winter.
leader 11B1's district visit to Leader Dog a couple years ago. He was on the tour.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the first year he was in the club, Roger. I remember that.
okay.
And he was at winter camp this last year.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. But no, I met him a couple years ago.
Okay.
He actually hit me up on Facebook, and I'm like, who's this random lion chatting me up on Facebook? So he must have seen my name in one of the publications or something, and or mutual friend list on Facebook or whatever. And then we were talking there in the conference room at Leader Dog, and I put two and two together. I'm like, oh, you're that random guy that messaged me at like midnight of last year.
That's funny.
That is funny. Yep. Willie's been involved in a bunch of Leader Dog stuff for quite a while with the Corvette Club. He's sort of the ambassador for the Corvette Club, I think.
Yeah, he is, and he called me the other day. I mean, we talk several times a week, anyway. But I talked to him the other day. He said, "Well, hey, you should stay out here, for Corvette set because it's the next weekend." But I just can't. I don't think I can push it out that far.
Is he blind? Is William blind?
Yeah. He was a truck driver, and wrecked his rig, and basically, as I remember the story, lost his vision, lost his job, and found out he was losing his vision basically all in the same day.
Wow.
And
I remember meeting him at camp.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he part of the Corvette Club, you say?
Part of.
Corvette set.
Part of Corvette.
Corvette set does. They raise money for Leader Dog.
Oh, I thought it was a car thing because I do car shows as well.
It is.
I thought it was Corvette.
They do a car. They do a car show.
Yep.
Yeah. They do cars and coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. I do fundraisers for car shows. I put on car shows here. Okay.
Yeah, they've got it's like the GMC or whatever, GM Corvette Club. That is GM? Anyway, yeah, the Corvette Club. I can look up the link again. I had put it in the minutes after the April 26th meeting when he was talking about it. We can look that up again.
He's really enjoyed being part of it, and he's done a little bit of speaking in that too, like what I normally do for him.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Cars and Coffee is June 14th. Bark and Brew June 8th. And he said
June 4th. That's Father's Day. That's Father's Day, June 14th.
Well, it's a great time to go look at cars then.
Well, I got a couple things on. I have to feel the cars. I can't look at them, So
especially since they don't like to touch the show cars.
You can ride
white glove. I put on a white glove car show for the blind, so they could feel what the old 37 look like, but they can't wear jewelry. They got to put the white gloves on so they won't scratch the surface. So
Father's
that's what
Day
I do.
is the 15th. Not the 14th. 14th is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because our Lions Club is doing our Wings of Mercy pancake breakfast. That's why I know that.
We have the Battle Creek Cereal Fest, International Cereal Fest is June 14th as well.
International Cereal Fest.
Oh, Father's Day is on the 15th. You're right. Father's Day is on the 15th. That's the day before Father's Day, the 14th. Right?
Yep. What is Cereal Fest, Roger?
Okay, the International Cereal Fest used to be called the Longest Breakfast Table, and it was an event. It was an event that was put on by all the Battle Creek cereal companies the three cereal companies, Post, Kellogg, and Ralston at the time. And so they would set up on Michigan Avenue, downtown Battle Creek. They would have picnic tables stretched from one end to the other, and they would have they would serve cereal, and they'd have entertainment and those sorts of things. But they had a competition with a little town out in Massachusetts that served a pancake breakfast on the same day, and so they would compete to have the longest breakfast table. So this was like a Guinness records thing. And so these picnic tables would be end to end stacked all the way through town. And now they don't do that anymore. They have it. It's a little more contained because we still have two cereal companies, but they're just it has changed over the years. But they have a parade, and they have a big, like a carnival kind of thing, and live music. And our Lions Club does kid site screening. We used to do diabetes testing, but we stopped doing that. But anyway, so we go out. That's one of our events for the Lions Club in Battle Creek. So
interesting. Okay,
that's what it is. If you
June
look up,
14th.
if you Google longest breakfast table, you'll find something about it probably.
I'm
But
looking at it right now.
It's
You've
been
got
going on since like the 50s. I think it started.
Yeah.
That's kind
over
of
50
fun.
years.
Yeah.
Roger, I reached
Almost
out to the Lions Club here in Kalamazoo, and I still haven't had a response back. And in the last 6 months, I haven't had a response back from anyone from Kalamazoo in the Lions Club.
Oh, really?
And I talked to a couple of people. They didn't return my call. Even after the run walk, I thought I would have had a contact, but they never followed through. So what's going on with the Lions Club in Kalamazoo?
Well, they have a pretty there is one, I guess there's only a couple now. There's a pretty active club in Portage. And there's
I
one
talked to some people, but they didn't get back with me. So
Really?
I would think a Portage and one of them meet less than a mile from my house.
Oh,
so
really?
What
I talked
methods
to
did
him.
you use? Hey, Bill.
I
What
talked to
methods did
I
you?
talked to the vice president, whoever he was, and they got my name and number, and they invited me. They were going to invite me to one of their meetings, but they canceled it. And I said, well, okay, so I haven't heard anything. So I was just
Call
curious
them
about
again.
what's going on in this area. I tell them I brag about you guys, but I don't get any reciprocation from my local group here.
Well, I've had similar issues here.
Some people are poor
wow.
communicators. Some only use phones. Some prefer text. Some prefer email. That's why I was wondering if you tried multiple methods, because sometimes
I
voicemails go to
talked
nowhere.
directly on phone with a live person. Two people.
Okay.
I think one was the vice president, and I think Roger gave me a name too. I called that one too. So
I'll be darned.
but yeah.
So I know that there's a group called Kalamazoo West Side. Does that ring
That's
a bell?
me. That's right in my area where
That's
I live.
right in your area. That's one of the few active clubs actually in Kalamazoo, I guess, in Kalamazoo. And I know that they are sort of active with. So it's the Michigan. Let's see, Michigan. What's it called? Michigan Blind Athletic something. MBA.
Oh yeah. That and right. And so that's Michigan Blind. So
yeah.
Because that's the one I talked to at the run walk thing.
Right.
They were there. Right.
Yeah, those guys.
Thing. Right.
Those guys were there.
Yeah.
And we. So they told me that the only club that they'd ever had contact with was this Kalamazoo West Side, and I tried to hook them up with some of the other clubs, and actually tried to get some of our state people interested in this because they get students from all over the state, to come to their athletic workshop, and I was able to talk my club into giving them some money, for some support for snacks and drinks and that sort of thing. But yeah, I just saw some of that. In fact, the lady from the Portage Club just got an award at the state convention for doing she does a lot of youth exchange stuff. with other countries. So Elvira something or other is her name. But I'm glad you said that, Bill, because we know a lady that's one of their governors, past district governor, and I met some of their folks this week when I was at the convention. So we'll get a we'll hold them
One of the
accountable.
guys
Hold them
that I was
accountable.
working with, we rode the tandem bike with the vice. I rode the tandem bike with the vice mayor, and it happened to be a Lions Club member with the tandem bike. And so we were going to communicate, but I haven't heard anything since. That the athletic guy or whatever. So
Any idea what?
Anyway,
do you have any idea who it is? Did you have a name, or do you remember a name?
well, I got it. I got the. I don't have the name now, but because
Okay.
I was hoping to have a continual dialogue with him, but
Yeah.
and I know he was involved with. I think he was vice president of the athletic thing for the state. So
Was it named Josh? It wasn't Josh Harrington, was it?
I think that's who it was, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but
the guy I've been
But anyway,
communicating with.
But I have his. I think I got his number still in my phone. But you
I've
reach
got
out so much, I expect a call back. But when they say I don't hear anything from you, just well.
Right. Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry that happened. I'll apologize.
It's 2:00. I've got to get going. If you guys want to stay, I'll revert host duties back to Roger.
I gotta run too. Honestly, I barely made it the way it was. So,
well,
Kristen's making me work today. So
I don't have a whole lot on my agenda other than just talking. So if you guys have stuff to do, we can call it good for today, and we'll send the notes out.
Roger, give me a call about that sawmill or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
my calendar says June 21.
Well, Bill, why don't you give me a call?
I'll give you a call. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is Jesse. Bill, give me a call. Maybe I'll run into you while I'm out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I need your number and all your information. So.
That's Bill. That's Bill. Yeah. I can send you both your information. So if you.
Thanks, Roger. Okay.
Talk to each other.
Sounds good. We'll see you.
All right. Hey, is Howard still on the line?
Yes.
Hello.
Howard, what?
You're
hey,
breaking
Howard,
up.
an
You say it
event
again,
happening
please?
in your area. Okay, Howard, this is Roger. An event happening in your area, June 4th. It's a Wednesday. It's Visions 2025. And it's basically it's like a vendor fair for the blind and low vision folks. And it's at the Ann Arbor Public Library, downtown. And it's and it starts in the morning, probably like 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and goes till about 4. It's really a nice event.
Is the library downtown?
I won't be there for winter camp. The library downtown. Yep, it's Ann Arbor District Library downtown on 5th Street.
Yes, I know exactly where it's at. Yeah. I got to tell you that story one day.
Okay.
What's that?
So I got to tell you the story about that library one day.
Anyway. Oh.
But, it's nothing bad.
Is it a good story or a bad story?
Well, it was kind of a weird story. My old man found $58,000 in the parking lot.
Oh.
And he turned it into the police. And long story short, he ended up getting 20 grand out. It was all said and done.
Wow.
But the weird part is that they put it in the paper the next week.
Maybe you'll find some money, Howard, if you go down there.
Yeah, he said the man finds money and he lives on this street.
Wow. Okay.
But June 4th, I called you.
That's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
June
people
4th,
that went there Jackson a year ago said that was really good. They enjoyed it.
Renee, what's her last name? Renee from Sterling Heights, one of our campers. She goes to that about every year, and David Sterneman goes as well. And I may go. I may go just to visit. But anyway, it's a lot of fun, and they do a lot of things there. They have a lot of demonstrations and stuff. So I just wanted to make sure I got that out before we
I
Right.
said
appreciate
goodbye.
that. I try to work on some transportation. My wife works on that day, so that'd be
Oh,
my
okay.
question as far as that
Well,
goes.
maybe if so, we go to Ann Arbor on Tuesdays, and that's my wife's birthday, June 4th. But
Hmm.
I might spend the night there that night because we don't have a Lions Club meeting the next day, and I could maybe come and pick you up, Howard, because I'll be
Okay,
in Ann
yeah, let's
Arbor.
stay in touch on that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't live that far from Tyrone too. I can see what's going on with him.
Right, right. So
Mhm.
okay,
All
I'll
right, sounds good, man.
and
Appreciate it.
I'll take the heat from my wife,
Yeah. Okay.
but we'll do something. So
All
anyway,
right, sounds good.
well, everybody, uh, and 21st, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. So we'll set up the next call for the 21st of June.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Getting close
great.
to football.
Nice
All
talking,
right,
everybody.
Yeah.
we're almost there, bro. We're only about 40 minutes away from our destination. So
Well,
this worked
listen,
out.
drive safe, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. You too.
Okay.
All
Blessings.
right.
Well.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye
See
bye.
ya.
See, I think I got the host. Bye bye.
Bye bye. I don't know how to turn this thing off.
Dude, oh, that's okay. I'm gonna close the meeting, but
Okay,
thanks.
sounds good.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Safe travels.
All right. Hmm.